Uh, is that better? Oh, you already hear me. Sweet. Is it still working? Because I had to fix some things. You probably can't hear the game. Hang on. Is it extremely loud? It looks loud. Crap. Let's just turn that down significantly. Why is it doing both? Desktop audio works now. Hi, how's it going, everybody? Sorry about all of the chaos again. I replaced my headset for reasons. For reasons of it gave me a lot of trouble for an expensive headset, so we're now on a cheap one. That's okay. I can hear myself. That's nice. Can hear you and the game, but the game's really loud, isn't it? I don't know why I have two of these. I'm not sure why it's really loud, right? It's loud for me. Turn it the heck down. I'm not playing Grounded today just because I just don't have enough time. Obviously, I'm starting super late because that's just how things shook out today. I had a busy day. We got people over at our house that we haven't seen since I lived in England, which was the 90s. So there's that. And I just having a heck of a time. I mean, it's great having them here. That's good. I did have to go to work today, and I did have to go to the dump today to drop stuff off, and I hate going to the dump. It's disgusting. We're good? All good? All balanced? Awesome. Cool. Glad to hear it, and hopefully we won't have any problems. Apparently the other headset was giving me graphics driver issues, so that might be why I was having problems in the past. Hopefully it'll be good today. We're playing a murder mystery. It's probably point and click. Maybe not. I don't remember. It's been a while since I watched the trailer for this. And it is a work of fiction in case you couldn't tell. I actually really like Detective D. I've seen some of the movies. I haven't read any of the books. I think they're books. Yeah, it's been a crazy busy day for me. Crazy busy day, so we're gonna be a detective. Because what better to do when you're tired than use your brain to solve murders? Oh, right. There's Detective D. The messenger said I would find an officer standing guard. This must be the right place. I don't know the buttons. So far, so bad. Oh, it's click. I see. Technically, it is point and click. Just not how I thought. Ooh. Oh. These mythic creatures are meant to protect the house. I have a feeling they may have faltered tonight. Weeping willows are believed to help ward off evil spirits. Let's look at this guy first. He must be the officer the messenger spoke of. I'll talk to him now. Oh no. Chinese names. I have really bad pronunciation of Chinese things because I don't have tone capabilities. Sure, I'm gonna do my best. I'm sorry to anyone with any Chinese knowledge whatsoever, or background, or anything. My name is Di Renji. I'm confused by the spelling, but I'm the newly appointed investigating magistrate of Penglai. Do I click? Okay. A messenger was sent to fetch me only 30 minutes ago. He named Foreign Minister Wang Hua as his employer. I understand I'm meant to help with an urgent matter. I don't know what voice to do for this man. I like how his mouth is up in the middle of his face sometimes, though. That's kind of fun. You're the new investigating magistrate. Excuse my bluntness, but I wasn't expecting someone so young. You have a keen eye. I've just recently completed my studies in the capital, and this is my first appointment as a county magistrate. But in my time in the capital, I gained invaluable experience, serving as secretary of the Imperial Archives, and as assistant to the Imperial Counselor before that. But I believe the minister requested my presence urgently. We must not keep him waiting. Of course, my apologies for my indiscretion, but on a night like this one can't be too careful. I am Sergeant Feng Chenglong, Minister Wang's private guard. Please, may I see some proof of your title? Do I have any of that? Oh, hang on. Is this... how do I... E. Tab. They didn't tell me anything about controls, so I'm doing my best. What? Ugh. Crap. I can't click on myself, so there's that. You didn't tell me the... didn't... options. No. Help. Oh! Top of the screen. Left click again. Double click to walk faster. Oh no, this is important. Open the deduction board. Icon at the bottom right? Oh, I guess I don't have that yet. The top of the screen. Oh no. This is not... it's not doing the thing. Oh, wait. That was it. Hang on. Come back here. Stop moving. Ah. Come on. There we go. It's not quite the top. Almost the top. I hereby bestow upon you, Di Renji, the rights and responsibilities as prescribed by imperial law of investigating magistrate of the district of Penglai. My official mandate as decreed by the imperial court. It's authenticated by a royal dragon seal. Dragon. Right here. You. Give it to him. Thank you, Magistrate D. The minister is waiting for you in the entrance courtyard. I forgot his voice for a second. This is going to be a long night. Bucket! I can't look at the bucket. Well, I can look at the well. This must be the compound's main water supply. Lights. Not lights. Yeah. You. I'll look at you. That must be Foreign Minister Wang. The Foreign Minister is Wang? I heard he was appointed by the Emperor himself. He's a powerful man. Why would he seek my assistance at this hour? No doubt a matter of life and death. I fear the worst, maybe. Maybe the worst, not the worst. Whatever, man. You must be Minister Wang. And you must be Di Renji, the new magistrate of our little coastal... Renji, I assume. It's got an E on... I don't freaking know how they write. The phonetic writing of Chinese in English is even more complicated and probably confusing. I don't know how to read it. The new magistrate of our little coastal district. I wish we could have met under less dire circumstances. I understand you've only been at your new post for 2 weeks. The minister is well informed. I've only begun to settle into my new station. The area is still quite new to me. In truth, I've only visited the military fort so far. This compound, on the other hand, I did not know existed. Indeed, this estate was built just recently to serve only the most exclusive guests of the Empire. Its existence is strictly on a need-to-know basis. Why do I need to know? Okay, guys, first choice. What are we doing? Why do I need to know? And then we are not alone. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I feel like maybe we should ask why do I need to know. But I'm gonna let you guys offer your input for this one. What you think? What you thinking? I'm gonna have to wait for you guys to catch up. I don't have any water here. It's a problem. I got rum. Cold rum. In a bottle. Might not be the smartest thing to drink. Just now. I don't know why we need to know. I don't know why we need to know either. Okay. Yeah, there's 2 of you watching, I guess. So I'm gonna assume that that's unanimous. So it appears you've put me in a privileged position. But why? Of that you are correct, young magistrate, but one word of advice. That position you speak of is fraught with danger. Knowledge, after all, comes at a price. But you seem keen enough. Good. I shall start from the beginning. As you know, this district borders a coastal region that is under a constant threat by the Korean Navy. I was sent here and tasked to conduct secret negotiations with my Korean counterpart, Ambassador Choi. Rum? Dude, I'm not drinking the rum right now. I just don't think that's... I'm not drinking straight grog. It's actually not rum, it's grog. I still haven't had it. Anyway, the Emperor himself summoned me to help deliver this proposed border treaty. Why is it's more like the rum's always here, rather than always gone. Contrary to what the movie would have you believe. To help deliver his proposed border treaty, a move that would undoubtedly help him regain favor in the eyes of the court and the kingdom. Needless to say, there are factions that would love nothing more than to see the Emperor fail. Okay, the Emperor is in jeopardy. Ooh, these are... I feel like the questions are maybe more useful to ask than the statement. Then again, I don't know if I'm supposed to be buttering this guy up. Probably not. I don't care, personally. I wonder if I could set my streaming back to normal screen rate. I'll do that next time. But yeah. Yeah, the stream is way behind. Ah, not getting data. Why? Oh no. Not receiving enough video. Stop it. Why are you doing this to me, stream, man? It's just it's a 2D game. It shouldn't be that complicated. Whatever, I'm gonna pick one because I feel like every time I'm not doing something, it thinks nothing's happening. I'll do that. The kingdom is prosperous. Who would dare defy the Emperor? The Imperial Court is full of usurpers, waiting for their chance to strike. That is why the treaty is more than a simple diplomatic calculation. Its symbolic value is immeasurable. The Emperor must show his strength, now more than ever, or I'm afraid his legacy will end badly. Ooh. Oh, I get to ask again. Okay. Is the Emperor in jeopardy? Okay, are you suggesting that the Emperor's enemies are on the move? Of that there is no doubt. If 30 years in the Imperial Court has taught me anything, it is that no Emperor can truly rest. Night after night he lies awake, anticipating the next shadow. His enemies are too numerous, too persistent. I guess we're just going through all of these. There was buffering. Is it not still... I don't understand, because it looks like everything's working fine, yet I've got the error message. I don't know how long that sticks up, but whatever. Emperor is a revered man. My father served under our Majesty. He is a capable and beloved ruler. Your father served as a young and vibrant man. Today the Emperor is an old and feeble. Your father served a young and vibrant man. Today the Emperor is an old and feeble leader, a mere shadow of his former self. As his wealth wanes, his wife, Wu Zetian, grows with influence. As his favor falls, consort Wu gains power behind the curtains. Good Lord, is this how my reading is going to be the entire night? And your role? And what of you, Minister Wang? Where do you stand? Barely 5 months ago, I was still enjoying the life of a retired official. But who refuses the Emperor? Clearly, he needed an outsider like me for the job, a loyalist unlikely to be influenced by his detractors. Yet tonight I stand at the precipice, looking clumsily at the bottom of the ravine. Perhaps you can save me. Now, come with me. Cool, that was cryptic. I love it. Great. Moments later, on the far side of the compound. Ooh. Oh. What up, bruh? The unfortunate man you see before you is Choi Yong-jun, Korean ambassador to China. Tonight was meant to be a triumphant victory. But fate has a cruel way of shuffling the deck just as you begin to believe in your own destiny. Tell me what happened. Ambassador Choi and I had been meeting here secretly for weeks. Our work on the treaty was almost complete, and we arranged to meet this evening to finalize it. It started innocently enough. Choi and his private guard arrived in time for supper as usual. After a light meal, our business began in earnest over some jasmine tea, just as it had many times before. But what follows is a terrible blur. I remember suddenly becoming very dizzy. Moments later, I felt myself resting my head on the table before me, closing my eyes and unable to open them again. When I woke, it felt like I had slept for hours. Someone must have witnessed this. That was my hope, but when I interrogated the others, all had the same answer, unconscious, each and every one. And Choi? He was gone. No one knew what happened to him, so I ordered an immediate search of the entire estate. We looked everywhere. In the end, it was his private guard who found him here, murdered in cold blood. Apparently, the ambassador had previously commented on how peaceful this waterfall made him feel. How tragic. It is hard to deny the serenity of this place. May he rest in peace. Let me remind you that if we do not find a suitable explanation for the ambassador's death, tonight's events could create a rift between our two nations that no diplomatic means could mend. I feel like even if you find an explanation, you're in trouble. That is why you must solve this case tonight, or the consequences will be grave, for all of us. Yes, of course. I shall start my investigation. Has anyone been allowed to leave the premises? No, I've ordered everyone to stay until this matter is resolved. I myself walked to the nearby military outpost to request a messenger be sent for you. Otherwise, none have been permitted to step outside of this gated compound. Very well, I shall interview each person and search the area for clues. Oh, cool. Clue. Looks like a partially used candle. I would take. Cap. It looks like a hat. Take. A bloody cap belonging to the ambassador. His body is partially underwater. If any forensic evidence existed, it's likely been washed away. I don't know what year this is, but I don't know if we had much by means of forensic analysis. Touch? I won't be able to rely on an autopsy, so I'll need to examine him carefully. Oh! I think I should examine his head, because that's the part that's bleeding. The back of his head has been smashed in by a narrow, jagged object. Remember this, folks. Narrow, jagged object. Likely killing him on impact. Something is tucked under his undershirt. A silk handkerchief with the ambassador's seal. Cool. No defensive wounds or any signs of a struggle. Could he have known his attacker? Some footprints are still visible at the edge of the water. Curiously, it seems he was facing away from his attacker when the assault happened. Summarize. The blow to his head was fatal, but why was he facing away from his killer? I need to find the murder weapon. Unless he was threatened or carried here, it seems the ambassador came on his own volition. But why? Perhaps he knew the killer. He could have also come here because he finds the place peaceful and someone snuck up behind him. Because it's a loud waterfall. Just saying. Because that's just my... What is this? What is this? Ooh. Cool. Collect evidence, but I did get you whatever. His gaze is fixated on the ambassador's lifeless body. He still wears a look of disbelief. Yes, how can I help? Why did you ask for me? As the investigating magistrate of this district, you are responsible for all matters of law and order that arise within its borders. As such, you are judge, jury, prosecutor, and detective. Notwithstanding the secret nature of these meetings, you alone have the jurisdiction to investigate and solve this case. And by the heavens, I hope you do. Okay, who else was on the premises? Can you tell me more about this compound and the people present tonight? This compound is comprised of a small house and a private garden, which itself surrounds this waterfall. I noticed. When in use, it is attended to by a staff of 3, a house steward, a cook, and a maidservant. The ambassador and I each have a private bodyguard who remain by our sides at all times. Where are they now? You met my guard at the front gate. Ambassador Choi's guard is standing outside this very cave. Somehow I don't remember passing him. The house steward is trying to keep himself busy in the main courtyard, and you'll find the cook and the maidservant in the house. Any idea how you were rendered unconscious? Some sort of sleep-inducing drug, I imagine. Yeah, that's kind of the impression I got, too. Kind of in the jasmine tea, which makes whoever gave you the tea kind of suspicious, but I'm not sure who that would be exactly at this point. At first, I thought our food might have been tampered with, but since dinner was served to only the ambassador and I, this would hardly explain why the others succumbed as well. After waking, I examined the candles that were lit earlier in the evening, and judging by their condition, it seems we passed out for just half an hour. Yet the remarkable thing is, if all accounts are true, everyone in the house has passed out at the same time. When I worked as secretary of the Imperial Archives, I once read of a case in which a powerful sleeping gas was introduced into a closed room. By the candles, maybe? Or maybe... All within it were knocked out minutes later. If what you say is true, it's highly possible a similar method was used here. As a matter of fact, at the time of the dinner, all doors and windows were indeed closed. Did you notice anything strange except for passing out? And everybody else passing out? What happened before you passed out? Did you notice anything out of the ordinary? I've replayed the events leading up to this disappearance over and over, but alas, nothing suspicious comes to mind. Were you the first to regain consciousness? No, the house steward and Choi's guard were already awake. They claimed to have come to only moments earlier. The others woke shortly after I did. Okay. Who knew about the meetings? For obvious reasons, the people presently here all have some degree of knowledge about the meetings themselves, but the Emperor himself is the only one who knows the nature of the work the ambassador and I were engaged in. The treaty was only to be made public after we had finalized it. Evidently, we were not cautious enough. What's so important about this treaty? Our work here would have ensured a decade of prosperity between our two nations. Who do you think that benefits the most? The Koreans? No, they have no stomach for war against our empire in the first place. Back then. Make no mistake, our emperor is the one who would have gained the most from this agreement, allowing him to recapture the hearts and minds of the people in the twilight of his reign. But he will be the one paying most dearly for its failure. Like vultures circling a weak prey, his enemies will advance, mark my words. You have much to learn, young magistrate. We live in uncertain times. Each move we make now either secures the Empire or precipitates its demise. I've never used that word, heard that word used that way before. Interesting. Do you have any reason to suspect anyone here? I wish I could say I do, but to my knowledge, no one here had any motive to kill him. Cool then, I'll be heading out. Good, I will be in the sitting room if you need me. Cool. Good talk. Is there anything else I should look at? I don't see anything. By the way, is this game okay with you guys? Y'all alright with this? Shayul? My cat seems to be outside my room. She's gonna have to deal with that for an hour. I need to inspect the crime scene evidence more closely before I leave. Didn't I do that? Oh, you mean in my inventory. Okay. Right. That makes sense. Let's take a look. Partially used candle. Well, why would a partially used candle be out here? Wonder if there was some trick with his death. There appears to be a small bulge on the inside. The secret pocket is sewn into the lining. There is a small piece of folded paper inside. Anonymous letter added to inventory. Ah. How long will this charade go on? You will not get rid of me so easily. I will have my answer tonight. Was someone threatening the ambassador? Aha! Cool. Ah. A handkerchief made of expensive silk. The ambassador's seal is embroidered into the bottom right corner. Interessante. Oh. Oh, hey man, how's it? Did I pass by you earlier, or did we just skip this part? I feel like we just skipped this part, but I'm just gonna go with that. The death of his master will undoubtedly carry severe consequences upon his return to Korea. My name is Di Rengier. I am in charge of this investigation. Are you Ambassador Choi's military guard? Yes sir, I am Captain Bei of the Korean Royal Guard. I think that's how that's pronounced. But I don't know. It's another one of those languages when transliterated into English is not helpful in its pronunciation. Even though it's written phonetically in Korean. But there is no need for any further formalities. I do not wish to speak to any Chinese officials until an investigative team from my country is present. What do you mean? Why should I trust a Chinese detective when it is under Chinese care that the ambassador has been assassinated? Do you think me that naive? You know what? That's fair. That's legit. I need, what do I need? What do you guys think of this one? I can help. I need your help. This is Chinese soil. What do you think is going to get us the answers that we seek? Am I buffering again? I'm buffering again, but it says excellent connection. So I'm going to have to trust that you're seeing it. What do you think? We got, I can help. I need your help. This is Chinese soil. What do you think? It skipped to behind the water. What do you mean? Oh. I now understand where you are in the whole situation. The game skipped to behind the waterfall. Got it. Good. So I'm not crazy. That is what happened. I mean, I'm still crazy probably, but not because of that. Bay is Bay. Okay. I'll believe somebody named Thomas on the pronunciation of Korean. Look, I don't know, so I gotta believe somebody. I need your help. I think that's a good idea. Let's go with that. I need your help in order to solve this case. Your testimony may contain vital clues. You need my help. What protection did you offer my master? How did you help him? Well, I wasn't here, to be fair, so I understand your reservations, but if we do not act tonight, the trail may be lost, and we may lose our only chance to apprehend the killer. How can we just do nothing and wait? I will make a bargain with you. Show me that you are truly here to find the truth. Show me your skills as an investigator, and I will cooperate and answer your questions. Very well, you have a deal. I will return when I have uncovered more about the case. I shall expect your cooperation. Cool. What's the frick is this? Hi. Something seems to be stuck inside the tree trunk. Interesting. Okay. The object that's lodged in here is just beyond my grasp. I'll need something to extend my reach. Okay. I feel this and the candle somehow are involved in some kind of trick for the murder. And somebody could have easily faked how long people were out by putting out the candles and lighting them again when they wanted to. Right? But that's not necessarily what they did, but it is a thought. A piece of cloth has been dropped on the ground. I would take it. It's a rag coated with some kind of herbal oil. I can't quite identify the herb, but it has a minty aroma. I don't know anything about that, but Stuart's song. His blank expression suggests a man looking for a distraction, but sweeping the floor doesn't seem to be helping. Okay, song. Are you the steward of this estate? Oh no, I need to come up with another voice, and I'm already stretched thin. Normally I can do more, but I don't know what to do with a bunch of Chinese and Korean people. That are all dudes. What kind of voice should I do? I'll just make him British because that's what I got. No. Will I? Maybe I should just read all my normal voice. I'm not gonna. Yes, sir, and you must be Di Rengier, the detective Minister Wang spoke of. I'm Song Yueming? Or you... I'm Song. I manage the small staff that cares for this compound and its guests. It's a relief to see you here, sir. Perhaps now we can find out what really happened here tonight. That's my hope also. Can you tell me how the night unfolded? Dreadfully, sir. Not in 100 years could I have imagined such terror. We thought this place was safe, untouchable even, but those notions were quickly smashed to bits tonight. Go on. Well, I was in the kitchen when it happened. I was overseeing the plating of some desserts with Chef Chu, when, for no apparent reason, he just tumbled to the ground like a large sack of rice. I have to click. I bent down to assist him, but suddenly my vision became blurry and my legs felt weak. My weight pulled me to the floor, and there's a notification in front of the rest of the words. Thank you. And that was that. I was out cold. Later, when I came to and saw that Chu was still on the ground, I checked to see if he was still alive, which he was. I knew then that I had to run to the sitting room, where I suspected the others had suffered a similar fate, or worse. And there they were, all unconscious except for the ambassador's bodyguard. As I looked at him standing over his master's seat, it was at that moment that I realized the ambassador was missing. Did you wake the others? No, I didn't want to risk it. Who knows what kind of poison we had been subjected to? But there was no need. Only moments later they all started waking, one by one. Once Minister Wang became fully aware of the situation, he immediately ordered us to search the premises for Ambassador Choi. I was as shocked as everyone else when his own guard found him dead in the garden grotto.
What manner of sorcery could have lured him into that cave?
I think my deep voice went back up in pitch midway through, and that's just how it's gonna have to be. That is indeed a vital question, but for now, tell me about yourself and your staff. I think that we're gonna go through all of this anyway, but tell me about yourself and your staff.
Well, the staff here is small, but we manage. Chef Chu and I have been working here since the beginning. Sun Yang, the maidservant, came on board last spring. We had to replace the first maidservant because her mother was sick and she wanted to return home to care for her. The rules and routines here are very strict with all the secrecy and all, so there's little room for error or improvisation, and tonight was no exception.
Okay, how'd you prepare? Did everything go according to plan?
Whew. Yes, sir. Our preparations were meticulous as always. We first greeted Minister Wang, followed by the ambassador shortly after sundown. I set the tables and lit the evening candles, and we promptly began serving supper, and then tea. That's when I headed back into the kitchen to help prepare the desserts. Well, you know what happened next.
Did anyone else eat besides the minister and the ambassador?
No, sir. The staff isn't allowed to eat until long after the guests have left. They've been instructed to eat before they arrive here, so it's usually not a concern. Same goes for the bodyguards.
And am I right to assume that all the food is prepared on site?
That's right, sir. Everything is prepared here by Chef Chu. We don't allow any food from the outside.
Okay, about the candles. You said you lit the candles in the house at the start of the evening. What kind of candles did you use?
Ah, for that, you'll have to ask Sun Ying, the maidservant. She manages our candle supply. Alright?
Sus. And did anyone change or handle the candles after you initially lit them this evening?
No, sir. Our candles usually last well into the night. Even now, they still burn in the house.
Why are you sweeping?
Under the circumstances, the minister has surely given you leave of your regular duties. Oh, yes, sir. This is just for me, or rather for my nerves. Keeping busy helps me stay relaxed. Besides, after all these years doing this job, I'm not used to sitting and waiting. Old habits die hard, I guess.
Cool. Thank you. I'll leave you to your work.
It's no trouble, sir.
Right. What is there to look at in here? Nothing? Oh. Stone table. Perfect for late night game of chess. Oh, is that all you had to say? I feel like there are more valuable things maybe to notice. From the looks of it, this lovely cherry blossom was in full bloom just days ago.
Interessante.
Sudden music. Painted vase. A fine painted vase featuring a dancing dragon. I don't have the means to analyze the contents of the meal that was served. For now, I'll need to rely purely on instinct and deduction. Same here? Yeah. They look like ordinary candles. Mr. Song said the maidservant Sun Ying is responsible for the candle supply. Hey, Sun Ying. What up, girl? Her hands are trembling. Like the others, the night seems to have taken a toll. Nonetheless, her rare beauty is quite striking. Okay, guess we're noticing that. I mean, she looked kind of pixely, but I guess her figure's good, for pixels. I'm Magistrate D. Rengier. Rengier? I don't know. I'd like to ask you some questions. Yes, sir, of course. My name is Sun Ying. I am the maidservant. I'd like to hear your account of what happened tonight. Can you take me back to the beginning? Well, it all happened so fast. I remember the minister and the ambassador arriving one after the other, just after nightfall. I remember them settling into the sitting room. The minister sat here, against the wall, and the ambassador was over there, to his left. We began the dinner service soon after that. Later, I remember Mr. Song saying he was going into the kitchen to check on the desserts, and that's when things took a terrible turn. One moment I was serving tea, and the next I was lying on the floor, confused and disoriented. When I realized we had been drugged and that the ambassador had been killed, I was so afraid. I didn't know what to think. All I know is that he didn't deserve to die that way. But our destinies are often beyond our own control. We bend and break at the mercy of a higher power. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to ramble on.
No need to apologize. What's taking place here tonight would unnerve the best of us.
Thank you for your kind words. I hope you find the person who did this and bring them to justice.
Sure. Tell me about yourself.
I'm just a simple servant girl, which is something that simple servant girls say. Have been since I was little. My parents died when I was very young, so I had to learn to fend for myself.
I'm sorry to hear that. Are you treated well here?
That I am, sir, very well. Minister Wang is a good man, and Mr. Song, he's very demanding, but I've never known him to be unreasonable. But now that this has happened, I wonder if they'll continue to let us work here.
How'd you end up working here?
I applied to an agency. They put my name on a waiting list and told me they'd contact me if anything came up. I heard the girl who worked here before me had to leave because she had to take care of her sick mother. I guess I was just next in line. After that, I was happy to pay them their finder's fee.
Why is everyone here speaking cryptic weirdness? Are you saying you're the finder's fee for them finding you as the next replacement girl? You suspect the maid too. She and the ambassador were involved, hence the threat letter. Candles may be half of what put everyone to sleep. The rag left her conscious. Murder weapons in the log. That's a good point. I see that possibility for the maid. Also, I haven't talked to the chef yet, but the chef could have been faking going unconscious because he was seeming to be the last person to wake up and also the first person to fall asleep. I think. So that could have been faked. But also she is new, which makes her a little bit more suspicious. Who supplies the candles that are used throughout the house?
I buy a new batch every week from a local candle maker. I don't remember his name, sir, but everybody in town buys their candles from his shop.
Did you notice anything different about the latest batch?
No, sir. They looked and smelled the same to me. They're just plain, unscented candles.
I'd like to examine any leftovers you may have. Where do you keep them?
Yes, of course. They're stored in a small lockbox in the storage room. Here's the key.
Okay. Thank you, lady.
I hope I was of some help.
Cool, yeah, maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Don't leave town. What up, man? Unfairly or not, his reputation will take a severe blow when the dust settles on tonight's events. If I can solve the case tonight, perhaps that will contain the damage. I'll talk to you, but only because there's the option and I don't feel like coming back. How can I help, detective? Any other thoughts on the case? I suppose I should feel relieved that the killer only intended to kill the ambassador, but I can't help but wonder why the rest of us were spared. The killer obviously had the means to murder everyone here. Why did he choose to let us live? What sort of devious plot were we victims of?
Well, could be like Thomas said, and the ambassador was involved with the lady, or it could be a deliberate plot to destroy to break down diplomatic discussions. Fair enough, Thomas. My gut instinct would be that the guy was murdered deliberately to put anyone else, like, all of the people involved in trouble. Or rather, I guess it would mainly be, what's his name? The Minister Wang and his bodyguard, I guess. I think it would put them in trouble the most. Which means that the bodyguard of Ambassador Choi is also a suspect. An antique vase. Judging by its style and shape, this piece may date as far back as the Zhou dynasty, and I don't know how far back that is from where we are now. Does anyone want to look up when Detective D takes place? What's the setting? Board detailing the week's menu. The only noteworthy thing is how well organized the staff is. Onions, ginger, garlic, the usual assortment of dried vegetables. Assorted desserts. Nothing out of the ordinary here. A pair of tongs used to handle the charcoal that feeds the stove. Okay, that is of potential note, but probably not, but maybe, because you could easily put something in the stove to create fumes throughout the house. He seems oddly relaxed. Is he drunk? Are you the chef? Yes, sir. Chu Fu's the name. You must be the detective. Yes, I am D. Rengier. I'm the newly appointed the new investigating magistrate of Penglai. I've heard of you. Is that so? Yes, my cousin Singh is the cook at the military fort. He told me all about your recent visit there. He even told me he prepared his specialty pork dumplings. But between you and me, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if you've had better. That cousin of mine, he's always been a bragger. You seem strangely undisturbed by tonight's events, Chef Chu. Tell me, have you been drinking wine? Well, I suppose I did have a sip of wine here and there. It's been such a long and stressful night, I was just trying to calm my nerves a little. I see. And do you think you're fit enough to answer a few questions? Fit enough? Ha! I'd wager I'm the sharpest one here, sir. You needn't worry 1 second. Fire away. Very well. About falling unconscious. What were you doing before you fell unconscious? Tongs to reach into a log. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. I was standing over there, plating those custard tarts. Mr. Song was standing right beside me. I swear that man wouldn't know the difference between a tart and a pie if his life depended on it. I don't know if I know the difference between a tart and a pie. I think a tart doesn't have a top, and a pie does. Anyway, reconnection successful. We're good. If you would like me to demonstrate it again, feel free to bring me anything with the slightest hint of an aroma, and I'll identify the source. That sounds quite useful. I'll keep that in mind. I know exactly what to give you, in fact. About the dinner service. What can you tell me about tonight's dinner service? The minister prefers his meals light and simple, and tonight's menu was no different. I first prepared a sweet duck soup, followed by some fried fish cakes, and white rice. The custard tarts were next, but as it turns out, we never got around to serving those. Do you prepare all the food yourself? Of course. Unlike my cousin, who relies on his assistants, I don't let anyone else touch my food. Okay, tell me about yourself. You want to know about me, I see. I see where this is going. I suppose I'm starting to go into a sort of Billy Crystal from Princess Bride impression. I think that's the direction I'm starting to slowly slip into. You want to know about me, I see where this is going. I suppose we're all suspects here, aren't we? No need to be tactful around me, sir. I know how this works. You pretend your questions are harmless and routine, while all along setting a trap for the unsuspecting wrongdoer. Isn't that right? Nothing routine about a murder. About investigation of the murder of high-ranking diplomat. Now, Chef Chu, either you start taking this seriously or detain you in our fine jailhouse for wrongdoers until you start sobering up. I'm terribly sorry, sir. I was just jesting. I didn't mean to offend. It must be the wine. I'm not usually this talkative. Somehow I don't believe that. Mm-hmm. So, as I was saying, I come from a long line of chefs. 4 generations, if you can believe it. I've been a chef now for 16 years, and that's exactly 2 more than my older cousin Singh. In recent years, I've settled for working for the imperial court, going wherever they ask. The pay is a little better, and I don't mind the traveling. A bachelor's life has its perks, you know.
You have any theories?
It's those damned revolutionaries. They're plotting to overthrow the empire. I just know it. They have eyes and ears everywhere. My cousin Singh, he thinks I'm crazy. Doesn't think the throne is vulnerable. That's exactly the kind of thinking that will get you in trouble.
You wouldn't happen to have any proof of these conspiracy theories, would you?
Proof? Well, not exactly. You see, it's more a gut feeling from anything else. All these years cooking for scholars, aristocrats, and officers, one picks up on these things. I see. Well, unless your gut can muster up some actual evidence relating to the situation at hand, I'd rather we leave those grand theories for another day. Yeah, of course. About your cousin Singh. Fond of him? You must be joking. He's been a nuisance all my life. He's more like a rival, a nemesis, who am I kidding? Singh's the only family I got. True friend. Wait, you're not gonna tell him I said that, are you? You can't. You mustn't, or I won't hear the end of it. No need to worry. I won't tell a soul. Cool, man. But I got a thing for you to maybe sniff. This one. Oh, sorry. This one, sir.
Can you identify the origin of the oil on this rag?
Sniff. It's peppermint. Well, I got that. Are you certain? Positive. Granted, I don't generally cook with it, but it's a fine medicinal oil, perfect for clearing a mild headache or perhaps a severe case of drunkenness. One whiff of this stuff will wake you right up. Yes, of course. The killer had planned to put everyone to sleep, including the ambassador, but needed a way to wake him up. Thank you, Chef Chu. That was very helpful. Okay. Got it. Interessante. What are you? Right, lockbox. Right, okay. Let me... Okay. Why did I just go in a circle? Oh, because I clicked in a circle. I see. It didn't need to wait until it got to the other side. Oh. Sure, yeah. Just ordinary supplies for the house. Uh-huh. Grandfather had a chest just like this one. I'd say it's easily 200 years old. Key slots. Oh, I'm sorry. What? Woman. Oh. That's the one. That's the one that she gave me the key to. Okay. That's fine then. Excuse me? Uh-huh. Its midsection appears to be darker. Rest of the candles are unscented, but this one has an unusual odor. Unfortunately, I can't make out what it is. I would take it. Thank you. I'm gonna go have a chef sniff it. I'm gonna huff this candle. 'Cause why not? Okay. Well, that didn't tell me anything. Wait. There's a dude out front. I need to talk to you. Yo, what up, bro? I don't remember what your voice was. That was a long time ago now.
What can I do for you, detective? Tell me about yourself. Before I was reassigned to protect Minister Wang, I was a guard of the Imperial Palace. Frankly, I didn't even know I was being considered for this mission when my superior told me I had been picked for the job. I can't complain, though. I'd much rather be out here in the countryside than roaming the halls of that stuffy palace. Excuse my bluntness again, sir. Thoughts on the murder? Truthfully, sir, I think the rest of us are lucky to be alive. I know I'll be thanking the gods in my prayers tonight. If I may be so bold, sir, something tells me Ambassador Choi was up to no good. Why else would someone go through all that trouble just to get to him? And whoever it was, they sure knew what they were doing. Right. Minister Wang is an immensely disciplined man. His dedication to his work is remarkable. Although I don't know the details, I know that whatever treaty he and Ambassador Choi were working on was of great importance, and he poured himself into it. I just hope that after what happened tonight, some part of that work can still be saved. Have there been any other incidents since your time here in Penglai? That's just it, sir. There have been no disturbances until today. Everything had been going so well. All that was left was for the two sides to sign the agreement, and the mission would have been complete. See, someone just wanted to stop the mission, right? Anyway, what are the security arrangements for this compound and its guests? My job is to ensure the security of the minister. Where he goes, I go. This compound simply acts as a secure meeting place. Since it's situated behind the military base just north of here, and its location is kept top secret, there's no need for additional guards, which would only raise suspicion. I see. Dignitaries such as Ambassador Choi also travel with guards. Yes, sir. If they travel alone, they do so at their own risk. In fact, many officials will travel with a larger contingent of bodyguards, but for these meetings, I heard the Emperor himself requested that secrecy be the top priority. Got it. Cool. Good talk, man. It's safe to say he knows less about anything than anybody else here. Cool. Then again, he was talking crap about the ambassador. Hi, I'm back. Wait, the kitchen. Hi. I got a thing. You wanna huff this candle for me? Do you recognize the scent of the discolored part of this candle? Sniff, sniff. Yeah, that's the same faint metallic scent that I detected in the air just prior to falling unconscious. It's hard to pinpoint since the substance is meant to be burned, but I'd wager a full purse that we're dealing with some form of opium. Opium, can it be used to induce sleep? I suppose in the hands of a skilled chemist or herbalist, it could be harnessed in such a way. Thank you for your assistance, Chef Chu. It's entirely possible this guy has nothing to do with anything because he's helping me by telling me what everything is, unless he's lying, but then I wouldn't be able to confirm that because of course I wouldn't. Can you huff this candle? Okay. Don't hate on me like that. Rude. How long have I been streaming? An hour? Okay, that's good. That's fine. Wasn't there another... Oh, that just also goes to the kitchen. Okay, let's go pull some stuff out of a log. 'Cause why the heck not? What was I supposed to do for this dude? I don't remember. Bronze candlestick. It must have been dropped into the water and carried by the current into the tree trunk. Okay. Small traces of blood, and its shape matches that of the wound on the ambassador's head. This must be the murder weapon. Cool.
Captain Bay, I'd like to tell you what I've discovered so far. I guess I'm not involved in explaining this. I don't remember his voice. Darn it. It's hard to keep track of all of these. Oh, it appears I've misjudged you, Magistrate D. Then I trust you understand the gravity of the situation.
I certainly do, sir, but the truth is I failed at my job, and now the ambassador is dead. The ambassador was a strict man, but he was always fair and honorable. But I have failed him. I have failed my country, and now my family will know shame for a generation because of it. If only I could face the killer right now, I would surely... I'm okay with you beating him up, but now's not the time. For a temperamental outburst, Captain, if you wish to help, only a clear mind can be of any use. Oh, I am sorry. I shouldn't have let my emotions take over. Tell me what you remember. Truthfully, I am as confounded now as I was when I first fell unconscious. I was standing in the corner of the sitting room, observing the ambassador and the minister, when suddenly I could no longer support my own weight. Wouldn't it be just a kicker if it was Minister Wang who did the murder? My head was spinning and my balance was gone. I fell hard to the ground and then blackness. You see this? This bump on my head was not there earlier today, I can tell you that. And when you woke? When it became clear that the ambassador was not inside the house, I had a hunch that he might be here, so I came running immediately. That's when I discovered his lifeless body inside the cave. How did you know he would be in the grotto? It was just a guess, sir. You see, the ambassador spent much of his time here when he wasn't working. He enjoyed this garden very much, in particular this waterfall. He would often spend entire afternoons out here and inside the cave. On those days he seemed peaceful. Did anyone ever join him in the cave? No, sir, never. This is the only entrance, and I was always standing guard. At this very spot, in fact. No one else could have gone in without me knowing. What about you? Did you ever join him inside? No, the ambassador made it very clear that he was not to be disturbed. Ah, that is interesting. I wonder if there's another route in there. Was the ambassador his usual self? Was it anything unusual about him? Ambassador Choi was a very private man. We rarely talked about anything other than official business. But from my vantage point, he did strike me to be especially preoccupied in recent weeks. How so? I can't explain it, really. There was just this look in his eyes, like his mind was drifting, you know? Like that look on someone's face when they're daydreaming. Uh-huh. And of course, all that time he spent in that cave by himself was so strange. I could never understand why he liked it in there so much. Have you seen him like that before? In all my years serving as his personal bodyguard, I can't recall a time where he appeared so distracted. But these last few weeks, something seemed to be bothering him. Did the ambassador have enemies? In Panglai? I find that very hard to believe. Since our arrival 5 months ago, we have resided in the Chinese military base down the road and have rarely ventured beyond those walls. Outside of his regular visits here to work on the treaty, the ambassador was very careful to avoid all unnecessary contact. You say he spent a lot of time in this compound. Did he have much contact with the staff members? He rarely spoke to them directly. Most of the time, if he had any requests, they were delivered by me. And those were usually the mundane type, like asking the cook to put less salt in his meals, or requesting the maidservant to put his cap out to dry. Ah, that reminds me, I need to retrieve the ambassador cap from the main courtyard. There is already cap by his body. How can it be in the main courtyard? Ah, yes. Well, you see, the ambassador is a rather portly man, and on humid nights such as this, he has a tendency to perspire, causing the underside of his cap to become damp. He used to complain about the discomfort, so he usually carried a spare cap with him. It was customary for him to switch to the fresh one before a meal. It was taken out this evening? Did you ask the maidservant to take it out this evening? Yeah, I wonder why Daydreaming Choi was spending time in the waterfall. Yeah, in fact, the maidservant usually came to collect the cap as soon as we arrived. I suppose she picked up on the routine pretty quickly.
So the cap in the cave is the replacement, and the one in the main courtyard is the original he was wearing when he arrived. Yes, that's correct. Where exactly can I find the original? I think the maidservant usually puts it on the stone bench by the north wall of the main courtyard. In that case, allow me to retrieve the hat for you, Captain. I'll be sure to return it to you after I've examined it.
Of course. Thank you, Magistrate D.
Cool. Interessante. But also I want to check out this cave again. Okay. I think if I find anything, it'll be from a different place. Bench. Don't see. What did I do? No hat. Captain Bay said the ambassador's cap should be on this bench, so where could it be? Where indeed? I'll ask you since I'm standing next to you. Did you see the Ambassador Choi's cap? The one that the maid-servant would have taken out to dry upon his arrival this evening. Have you seen it?
I'm afraid I haven't seen it, sir. You're better off asking Sun Ying. But she's a clumsy girl, that one. I wouldn't be surprised if she misplaced it. And between you and me, I don't think she'll last here much longer.
What makes you say that?
Well, I suppose I've seen her kind before, sir. Careless and too cunning for her own good. I could tell the good ones from the bad ones, you know. I've served in many distinguished houses, like the
I'm not bad at pronouncing other languages, but I am really bad with, especially, Chinese. Like those guys of the Zhuji province. You must have heard of them.
I served the great family for over 10 years. That is, until 2 years ago, when the eldest son threw away their fortune in the gambling halls. I thought then that my fate had been sealed, destined to wait tables in tasteless inns and wine-houses. Fortunately, the matriarch was good enough to write me a letter of recommendation before things got even worse. That's how I ended up here, sir.
So you were acquainted with Minister Wang?
No, not at the time, sir, but you see, Minister Wang was once very close to that clan. And when I presented him with proof that I had served that clan, or household, with distinction, he was quite swift in his decision to hire me.
Yes, I remember now. I heard about those guys while I was taking my final literary examination in the capital. Liang? Can't do it. If memory serves, official reports held that after suffering the shame of financial ruin, the entire family had committed suicide in their ancestral home in Dujie. Okay. News of the terrible scandal echoed through the capital for weeks.
It was a horrible affair indeed, sir. Simply horrible.
Cool. Well, that's interessante. Can't quite put my finger on it, but his account of those guys felt hasty and insincere. Unfortunately, my knowledge of that affair is only second-hand. I'll need something more substantial if I wish to confront him. Yeah, I could ask him. I thought that was weird, too. But what about it was weird? About the house steward. Mr. Song told me an interesting tale about how he became steward of this estate. He credits a letter written by the late Madame That of Nuji. Yes, that is true. I did hire him largely on the strength of that recommendation. Liang Tao and his wife were a formidable aristocratic couple whose influence reached far and wide. I was fortunate enough to call myself a friend, but over the years we had lost touch. Truth be told, even at a young age, their firstborn son was an incorrigible troublemaker who had left an unsettling impression on me. Perhaps I distanced myself without even knowing it. In the end, that his gambling addiction was the cause of their downfall did not entirely surprise me.
Even so, when I heard the news of their tragic demise, I was deeply saddened. I made many inquiries, holding out hope that the rumors surrounding their ritual suicide were grossly exaggerated, that perhaps some members of the family had survived the ordeal. I understand this. Oh, sorry. I understand this is a sensitive personal matter for you, Minister. Frick, I can't English anymore. Very well. My initial inquiries were fruitless until one day, months later, I received word from a reliable source that someone had indeed escaped unharmed. Although Madame Liang had accepted the path that her husband had chosen, her compliance did not extend to taking— I freaking knew it, it's the frickin' maidservant, right? Did not extend to taking the life of their 3-year-old granddaughter. She secretly made sure the young one was spared the lethal dose of poison that killed the rest of them. How remarkable. Indeed, that little girl, she is nothing less than a miracle. With luck, she will live out the rest of her life peacefully in Chengdu, where we were able to locate a distant relative willing to take her in. So you see, when Song came to me with that letter of recommendation, I took it as an act of providence. One last opportunity to do right by my old friends. Interesting. Now that I know more private details about the Liang affair, I can confront Song to see if his story holds up. But do I want to— I got stuff to grab, man. I can't just— I gotta do a lot of stuff, man. What up, girl? I was told you were responsible for replacing the ambassador's cap. Was that the case tonight? That's right, sir. He always leaves an extra cap here so that I can dry it and have it ready for his next visit. Okay. Today was especially humid, so I knew he'd want his replacement right away. I put the one he was wearing on the stone bench in the main courtyard. That's the best spot to dry it. Are you aware the cap is missing? No, sir, I had no idea, but I'm sure I left it on the stone bench. I always leave it there for drying. Cool. I have questions. Can I save? Cool. This thing. Oh, wait. This thing. Okay. Well, that was... That's... Okay. Hmm. No. No. About the Liangs. You mentioned your service for the Liang family in Duxi. Just now, the minister and I were debating a finer point concerning that affair. I thought surely if anyone could help us settle the question, it would be you. I hope you can indulge my curiosity. But sir, aren't there more pressing matters to attend to? I'm afraid you misunderstood me. That was not a request, it was an order. I'm very sorry, sir. I did not mean to suggest— No apology needed. Simply answer me this. When faced with ruin and shame, the entire Liang family retreated to their ancestral home and committed ritual suicide. No one was spared except for one. Can you tell me who survived? But they all died, I'm sure of it. It was common knowledge. It was indeed common knowledge that the entire family poisoned themselves, but only a select few knew the entire truth. As luck would have it, Minister Wang is such a person. Liang
matriarch knew the young matriarch knew her husband's suicidal plans and had no choice but to follow his wishes. But she could not bear to see the family's youngest, her 3-year-old granddaughter, suffer the same fate. Madame Liang made sure the girl was spared the lethal dose of poison that killed the others. But you could not have known that, since contrary to your false claims, you have never worked for the Liangs at all.
But
Not another word. Your crude, callous retelling of the Liang affair never did sit well with me. How could a man devoted to the same family for so long recount such a tale with such utter lack of sentiment? You're an opportunist, but not a very smart man. Like everyone else at the time, you heard the stories about the Liangs, but you decided you could use that knowledge to your advantage. You forged the letter you claimed was written by the matriarch and lied your way into your current position. What are you playing at, Song? Come out with it now.
it's true that I lied about my past, sir. I won't deny any longer. I was desperate for a job, and although I had worked as a servant before, I knew that I lacked the experience for this position. But I assure you I had nothing to do with the ambassador's death.
I'll be the judge of that. What else did you lie about?
The ambassador's cap. I was the one who took it from the stone bench earlier this evening, just after the maidservant brought it out into the courtyard.
Explain yourself at once.
It was nothing nefarious, sir, I swear. I needed something to protect myself from Sun Ying. Like you, she somehow found out about my dishonesty. She said she would keep quiet, but warned me that she would one day ask for something in return.
It's because she knew, because she's the granddaughter, obviously.
I didn't want to take any chances, so I thought that if I could get the masters to distrust her, I could even the odds.
So you stole the cap as an insurance policy against your own deceit.
I just wanted to hide it long enough to undermine her competence, sir. I was going to return it, I swear. I know how foolish that was now. Please have mercy on this humble servant, sir.
There are more pressing matters. Your petty squabbles are of little concern. As you said yourself, there are more pressing matters at hand. Now tell me where you hid the cap. I'm sorry, I probably should have given you guys the option for that, but I didn't feel like punishing the dude that harshly for hiding a cap.
It's in the storage room. I placed it in the locked wooden chest. But in all the commotion, I seem to have lost the only key. That's why I've been sweeping the floors all night, sir. I've been searching all over for it. Look, I was able to find a piece of it.
What do you mean, a piece?
Well, that chest has a very unique locking mechanism, sir. Its key is actually made up of 3 discrete pieces.
Okay, so we're all on the same page then, it's fine.
It's an old Han Dynasty relic, but Minister Wang is fond of antiques. I must have dropped them earlier, but I've only managed to recover one of the 3 pieces. I've looked everywhere, sir. The only explanation is that the other 2 pieces must have been picked up by 1 or more people here.
Very well, I will speak to the others about the 2 missing pieces. Cool. Is this a shorter game than I thought? Hey, bruh. What do you got? Should I still tell him about the cap? Or should I just tell him, ask him about the key? Cap, okay. I'm behind on the stream. It's not behind, I am. Okay.
That's odd. I saw the maidservant take it, that I'm certain of. I guess she could have taken it somewhere else. Have you tried asking her?
Okay. Did you happen to come across a key that was dropped somewhere on the premises earlier tonight?
No, sir, I didn't come across any keys. Oh, you didn't come across any keys. Cool.
Good talk, bruh. I can feel this whisper. There's gentle stillness in these walls. It's hard to describe. Cool. Excuse me, sorry. Did you happen to come across a key that was dropped somewhere on the premises earlier tonight? Can't say that you have. Cool. Chef! Wait, do you mean this thing? I found it in the courtyard, or was it the sitting room? I failed to finish reading the sentence before I skipped it. Cool. I got 2. Odds are high that she's not over here anymore. Interesting. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to admit I didn't see that one coming. That, I
believe she was murdered, sir.
She committed suicide right under our nose. Dead, yet her body is still warm. She was alive only minutes ago. Frick, man! I don't like that. The plot does indeed thicken. The plot thickens, and I feel that's a good place, actually, to end it for tonight. I know that it's been a short stream, but I've had a long day. And I think an hour and a half ain't too bad. And this is a really good cliffhanger to leave off on. Y'all are gonna have to deal with it. But thank you guys very much for coming to stream. I'll probably play okay, thank you. I'll probably play Grounded again next time. I guess it depends if people are available to play. If not, I will continue where I left off here. Otherwise, I will play it again though. We'll definitely pick up here. I'll have to somehow give you guys a recap next time. You're gonna make the cliffhanger joke. Look, I didn't mean it as a joke, but I accept it. I shouldn't. That's wrong. But I do. It's too late. I've made it. I've already leaned into it. Anyway, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. One of you did, at least. Thank you so much for coming. I hope to see you guys again next time, and until then, have a good one.